follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more the algorithm sends it out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community, either post tips and tricks, or they can post their request, which I'll go and review, and then I'll share with everyone. Now, onto the intro. Oops, I have the wrong intro. I forgot to change that. That's kind of embarrassing, but let's pick something up here, and I'll change it right now. Okay, easy 3D armatures with code. All right, so this is so weird. I don't know what's wrong with OBS. Literally, I did a night stream yesterday, and I had everything set up, and now the camera is small, and anyways, hopefully this will resolve itself sometime. All right, so I think what I need to do is I'm going to actually use the browser tab here. I'm going to grab this URL, and I'm going to go through it. I think I can put everything in the middle today. Hopefully it works. So let's go here, and I will put it here. Press OK, and you guys should see, yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go interact. Okay, so if you're on a mobile screen, or what do you call it? Yeah, if you're on a mobile screen, you should be able to see the, yeah, there we go. You will see a little bit better right in the middle. So let's, yeah, can scroll up and down, so you should be able to see it as well. So here we go. So essentially, what do we have here? As you can see there, it's going to be an animation, and it mimics, that's what it is, just a bone. So for example, maybe it's a shoulder, you're bending a shoulder or flexing a muscle. It could be a leg, as you can. So it's an animated, it's already animated. So that's basically what we're going to do today. We're going to do all that in using Blender Python. Obviously, you can use a model. I wanted something pretty simple, like this is low poly, and it's perfect for example, maybe if you're making a game or something like that as well. Okay, then what else do we have here? We have the, yeah, that's basically it. I think I'll explain all this in the we're going to use obviously the Blender Python API. What else are we going to do here? Oh yeah, then to put it on the web, we're going to export a GLB file. That's GLTF, but that's the binary version. That's what the B stands for. And we're going to use Three.js to display it. Now, you can also use, after you guys seen, I've done a lot of tutorials. I think I did over a year's worth of tutorials when I was using the what's it called, the model-viewer. That one is also based on Three.js, but that one I didn't like it because, no, it was fine, it works fine. But however, it had an issue where it did not load EXR images. So I didn't want to keep on using HDR images because they're uncompressed compared to EXR or other formats. So that's why I decided to do it this way. And if you want to see the code, you're impatient, the Python code, just expand the source here, and then you'll be able to get it. And the HTML is there as well. That includes the Three.js part. Now here are all the screenshots. Where can I scroll down here? Is it stuck? There we go. So here's the screenshots. Obviously that's inside Blender. I'll show you that as well. And then this is the model after it's done. It takes a few seconds. And that's the texture, not texture, the color, the diffuse color. We're not using textures, and not even procedural textures. We're simply just doing everything is color. We're going to use it metallic to give it a nice shine. And then we're just using, you guys know this, one of my favorite HDR images. This is the courtyard. And I'll show you all this as well. This is from Blender, and obviously we're doing a live stream, so this is live. So I'm going to hit play, and I'm just using, you guys. Yeah, so there you go. That's the play button, and I'm going to scroll down again, and I'm going to stop right here. So we'll come back to this later. I'm going to get rid of that right now. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to mute that. Oh, why can't I mute it? I guess I have to close this and then mute it. There we go. All right. So actually, let me scroll down here. So we're in the same, somewhere around here. We'll talk about this later. All right. Now I have this. Yeah. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, you just need to see these three. So you see here I have the courtyard. This is from Blender. It's Blender 4.5 and Blender, what version of Blender is that? I'm using Blender 5 right now, but it's the same EXR image. This is right from the, for example, if I right click on this and I go to properties, you can see, oh, this is in my home folder. But basically, yeah, it's in the home folder because I used it so many times. But the other, it's basically the one in the Blender install folder. So I have index.html here, and I have the what's this one, the Python. So I'm going to take a look at these right now, and I'll be able to explain them. So first, let me just resize this so it fits. There we go. So if you're on a vertical screen, you should see. So I'm going to also do the same thing for this guy here, so you can see it. Oops. See it as well. You should be able to see it there. Perfect. Oops, I did the wrong one. Okay, I think I need to go to the, which one is the new document? That's the one I want. Okay, this is the new document. Perfect. All right, so let's look at the HTML file first. It's pretty simple. It's just the usual. I'm going to zoom in as well to be able to see that a little bit better. Okay, so doc type HTML. We have the what do you call this? The HTML tag. You don't actually need the English, but because I used a copy from a previous one, so I just copied over. Then we have the, you don't need this character set or the English language because that's the default. The viewport, I say to initial height of 1 because if you're on a mobile device, you don't want people to be, you know, zooming in and out or stuff like that. So just the initial, so it fit perfectly. The title just say 3.js armature animation, and then the styling. I'm not going to talk about that today because we are, what do you call it? We are. It's subjective. Your color. So the background color, as you can see, it's just a darkish. That's just black. It's just black. 000 is black. And then what I do is I import Three.js. I'm using a CDN, and then I need a GLTF loader that will load our GLB file, and the EXR loader that's going to load our courtyard or whatever HDR image you have. So once I finish up some upcoming AI stuff, I think I'll start showing you guys how you can create HDR images. I'm curious to see, I mean, you can create them easily in Blender. I think you can try it as well in GIMP, but I'm just curious to see if AI can generate them. I'm sure it can. And then orbit controls, of course, you need this for, you know, to control zoom, pan, and all that as well. So what we do is we create the camera, the scene. We can create a camera, make it a perspective camera, and make it to the width and height of the window, and we set the position here, and then we're going to use the WebGL renderer. This already does WebGL 2.0. Set the size, set the pixel ratio, set up tone mapping. This will prevent it from, this is so that you can see your materials properly, especially if you're using EXR lighting. So you can see all this stuff here. Then we get the controls, remember the orbit controls, and what else do we have here? We have some little things here. We don't need all this, but it's okay. The part here of the EXR, because we want the lighting to come from the EXR image. So we use EXR loader, so it loads up the EXR image. And what else do we do here? So we grab the lights from the from obviously the texture, which is the HDR image, and then after that we load our GLB file, and we put it what is over here, and then after that we set the cast shadow and receive shadow to true. Then if there's any animations, which this one will have an animation, we just play it, so it's constantly playing. After that we just have an animate loop. You can take a look here, and obviously here the aspect for the camera, update the projection matrix, same stuff we always do, and set the render size and just animate. So that's simple enough. I'm going to show you the Python. It's really easy, don't worry about it. I'm going to zoom in as well. You guys have seen this before, so always you import the Blender Python module, import math. You don't need to import the OS. I import the OS because I like to save the blend file and the GOB file relative to where this Python file is. I want to save it right here, so that's why I use the OS, but you don't need the OS. Okay, so you guys have seen this function before. This just clears the scene, and this one is the one that actually creates the armature. So basically what we do is we create a new data object and we add the arm. So it's just an arm data that's gonna on the arm object, and then all we do is we go to edit mode, then we create the shoulder part. Basically it's 3 bones, okay, and I'll show you those bones later. So we have the shoulder, you see here, it's just a bone, so 1 bone for the shoulder, we put it here, and then we have another bone for the arm, and then have another bone for the forearm. And you can see the positions and the sizes here as well. You can throw around with this as you want. So that's going to be our object, and then we're going to give it a shine. It's like some type of silver-ish type color. So that's where this color will get it. So it's hard-coded. But you can see here 0.75, 0.5, and 1. And then for the metallic value, we set that to 1 because that'll give it the shine. And the roughness, we drop the shyness down. If you do the inverse of this, you're going to get more matte finish. But I wanted a shiny, a glossy finish. So that's a trick there. And then what you do is basically you get the material, add it to the object. Oh, that's it. That's all you do here. Very simple. And this one, mesh and parent. So remember, because we have 3 bones, we want to make them feel as one. So if we go back up here, sorry, I think I missed to tell you something. One of these bones is going to be parented to the other. So meaning that when now, for example, you see, I don't know if you can see my arm here. Yeah. So you see, for example, when I do the flexing here, this part here on the body doesn't change, right? But you see, when I do this, you see how it bends, right? There's a little, I guess, a twitch or something. So that's more natural. So we need to parent. Oh, it's right here. I didn't even realize it. So you see, we have the shoulder, and then the upper arm. The upper arm. The parent's going to be the shoulder, and then you see this one for the forearm. The forearm is not going to be the shoulder. It's going to be the upper arm. So this is the one that when we bend this one will also slightly twitch as well. So that makes it more realistic. Okay, where was I? Did I go here? Can't remember. Oh yeah. So here we create the mesh. We also subdivide it, give it about 15 cuts. Then shade smooth. You guys have seen this before. There's nothing special here as well. See, then we have the shoulder, upper, and forearm. Those are the vertex groups. And then what we do, just go through all of them, because what we want to do is, instead of just having bones, we want to wrap it into something. So that's so you can see the colors, because you might not be able to see the bones, or they will kind of not look as nice. So that's why we do this. We just create some vertices to wrap around them. And then here so that's the object here. That's modifier, sorry. And then we have the elbow. We're going to animate it. We're going to animate it now. So we see which one do we animate, right? X, Y, Z here. You see, we don't, as I said before, we don't actually do the shoulder. If you notice, we're not animating the shoulder at all. All we are doing is the just the keyframe is set on the forearm and the upper so see, it's just the forearm and the upper. That's all we're doing, just to make it realistic. Then this is the main function that calls a clear scene. Then we build the arm. Then we build the mesh object. As I said, the mesh is going to wrap around the bones. So these are the bones, and this is the mesh as well. And then we animate the arm. And then that's it. We save the blend file. You guys have seen this before, so I'm not gonna go through that. And then we export our GLB file. You guys have seen this as well, except this in this particular one, I'm also going to export the animations. That's very important. That's it. And then we call our function. Nice and simple. See, very simple, 174 lines. Now, without some comments and some of this print stuff, obviously it can even be less, but that's it. Nice and simple. Now, all you need to do is just run this. So I go to the command line. I'm going to zoom in. Very simple. Just type blender space -b. That's for background, space -P. That's for the Python file. And I just type in the Python file, which is low-poly- bone-armature.py. So I press enter, and you can see I'm using Blender 5.01. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so in case you guys didn't see it. So you can see it finished. It's very, very quick, in less than a second. And it exported using GLTF version 2.0. Yeah, so that's it. It created my blend file, and it created the bone armature file as well. Now I'm going to open this up in Blender just to show you what it looks like. So obviously Blender is one of those old school applications. It takes up a lot of space. So bear with me if you're watching this vertically, but I'll try my best to. So just double click this. It should open up in Blender. See, Blender by default opens up as so you can see. We'll come back to this. So what I want to do is I want to go to the scripting tab. This is the scripting tab, and this is, you just click new, and then you paste your code in here, right? So that's all you do, and then okay. So now see, there we go. So you paste your code in here. Now you see this is our guy here. Now if I switched over to the viewport shading material, right now it's in the solid, but if the reason it's solid by default is because solid is not going to task your GPU. It's fast. So if your GPU or you don't have enough RAM or something, be careful when you go to the material preview. See, this is the material preview. We'll come back to this later. So let's go to the shading tab now. Now with the shading tab, I'm gonna go here so you can see it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So you see it's selected because there's only one material, and it says there's difference. This is a silver. Silver is obviously like a whitish color, as you can see here, but more importantly is this value. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see the value. See, the metallic is set to 1.0, roughness is set to 0.1. That gives it the shine. For example, if I increase the roughness, it's going to be more of a matte color, right? So, and obviously I'll have to decrease the metallic, but I like the metallic because that's what gives you the shiny color. That's what I was going for. Now you can see here there's only one material. This is the silver material that was created. There's no other materials. There's only one. There's the default material, which I didn't delete, but that's fine. And then there's that one. That's it. Now let's go to the layout tab. So in the layout tab, you see here we are, and all I need to do is go back to the viewport shading, and you can see now I'm going to zoom in a little. Oops, did we zoom too much? Let me grab this, put it down here. You should be able to see it, and I can zoom in. Oops. Yeah, I'm just doing. There we go. So you can see it's nice and shiny. It's using by default, so it's using the forest texture, right? So, and if you see down here, we have so if I hit, you can hit spacebar, you can just click this button to play. So I'll hit this to play. So you see how it bends here? That's a more natural bend. Even this one here, it bends in a more natural. Well, this is a little bit, could have done a little better job here, but you see, behind all these are the bones. You can actually see one bone protruding here. So let me pause this. So if we go here, the collection, I'm sure which one is that's the animation. This is the mesh. So if I hide the mesh, you can see these are the bones here. These are the bones, right? So what I'm saying is that if I hit play, you can see the bones. And you can see this bone here, this is the shoulder. This one isn't parented to anything, but this guy is parented to this guy. and this guy is obviously parented to this one. So all we need to do is move this one, and this one will obviously, it will do that as well. If you remember, I told you this one doesn't look realistic because this should slightly be altered as well. That's realistically, you can't simply just bend one thing and one thing stays intact. This one should actually move a little bit. That's why I said it looks a little bit not. If I only did this is kind of boring because I said it's fine. But I'm saying is that when I actually show the mesh. Put the mesh. See, that's why I added the mesh. You see, when I add the mesh, you can actually see how it bends there. That's way more natural. This one I said is a little bit unrealistic, but so you can basically take the same tips I've shown you how I did here and do the same thing here. So that's it. So if you're making a game asset or something, and now you know how to do it in Blender Python. Okay, so I'm going to stop this and get it out of here. Don't save. We don't need that. Now you can use any HDR image you want. I said I'm using the ones which came with Blender because I know those ones are open source. I think they're using the CCC. I should actually do a license on those ones as well, especially because those are for the software licenses, like the MIT license, Apache license, and then there's and there are also other licenses, not for software but for things like this, like creations, like for example, pictures, and I think audio and text writing. So there's open source, I guess, type of licenses. I don't know how to refer to them because they're not code. So so this is why I use this one, in case you're wondering. I said later on I'll make my own and maybe AI generate them, and then we'll start using those and go away from this one. Okay, so I showed you this. So now you can't simply just drag this into a web browser because remember, it's using a CDN. If I had downloaded the Three.js stuff and it was local, that would be fine, but I did not. So I'm going to use a Python here. Why not? This is using Python. Let me clear this first. So we're going to use Python space -m space http.server, and I'm going to use 8080, port 8080. Okay. So the reason I'm using port 8080 is because I don't use that for anything else. I know you guys have seen me run a lot of the stuff. What I'm saying is, I know when I switch on the workstation today, port 8080 is not used for anything else. So that's why I'm using 8080 here. So all I need to do now is go to the web browser and use localhost 8080 or 127.0.0.1, or the IP address of this machine. The good thing about using the IP address is I can use it on any device, whether it's a phone, tablet, or whatever, to connect to this on the same router, and we'll be able to view it there. Alright, so I'm going to take this IP address. So I'm going to go back to the browser here, and I'm going to put it in here. I think I'll go to HTTP. I'll go to localhost, and it was colon 8080. Okay, and I'm going to display it. There we go. So you guys should be able to see it. I'm going to do interactive so I can control it. If it's not showing up for you guys, there we go. There we go. So now it's showing up. So for example, if you see here, I'm panning. You see, this is the courtyard. And you see it's running by itself. It's the courtyard. This is why I like the courtyard, because you have so many lighting options. You can light so many different ways. Right. So, I can put it all the way. So obviously, there we go. You can also zoom in. See, zoom, and zoom out. Put it anywhere you want. Okay, you guys get it. So this is a very simple, it's a very simple animation, and you guys can easily do this yourself. The code, as I said, is on ojambo.com. So I will, I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. So that's nice and simple. I think I'll let it continue to run and finish this tutorial up. All right, unfortunately, it's taking up a little bit of the behind space. So I might have to stop this, especially if you're on a vertical screen, and I'll because I need to finish this up. So I think this is a little bit distracting. So let me get rid of this one here in the back. And if you're on a what should I say? So let me put this here. I can completely distract you guys. Okay, so I think that's, oh, is that my face again? Okay, there we go. All right, so let me go and change this browser. So I'm going to stop this browser, and oh, I need that URL. I need this URL. Minimize this, and properties. Okay, there we go. Interact. So let's finish this up. Obviously, where did I leave this off? Yeah, I left it off right here. Okay, so, oh, I just realized that's actually not a good idea. Man, it's so hard. Okay, so I gotta read this stuff here. Okay, so, okay, if you want to take your skills further, if you've enjoyed learning about the connection between 3D software and web code, these resources can help you continue your journey. You can master the basics. I have books, they're available on Amazon. The first book is Learning Python. It's designed for absolute beginners. If you want to go pro with Blender, I have Learn How to Automate 3D Workflows. I also have another book, also on Amazon, called Mastering Blender Python API. Just a word of caution is that book was based on Blender 4.3 and 4.5. So thumbs, because Blender 5.0 there's been breakages. So if there's anything that breaks, doesn't work, let me know and I will fix it. The reason I haven't created a new one, an update on that book yet, is because I'm trying to add some extra stuff like some grease pencil things. So once those are done, and obviously Blender 5.0 stopped breaking, because it's not a long-term support release, then I'll release an update to that book. I also have online courses. If you want a step-by-step learning, you can view my library of online courses on ojamboshop.com. The link is in the description. And if you need personal mentorship, I offer one-on-one programming tutorials for your specific projects. And if you need professional help, you can contact me for consultation services at ojamboservices.com regarding 3D web configurations or pipelines. And for the programming tutorials, you can contact me also on ojambo.com/contact. I also have some other recommended resources. So I live in a rural area where there's no internet, so I use the SpaceX Starlink residential service for my high-speed internet, and also I use it for Wi-Fi calling. So right now, for example, I'm using it for the live stream. I'm live streaming on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey, all in real time. And the other one is this, let's scroll down here. Why doesn't this scroll? Okay, come on, is it stuck? Okay, looks like this is stuck. Okay, that's not very good. Oh, okay, looks like, oh, maybe you have to hit interact. It says interacting, okay, I cannot, okay, it doesn't matter. I have the Honeywell HeatBud Personal Ceramic Heater, so this little heater has helped me save hundreds of dollars in propane costs. Propane is used for heating this cabin. So that's my affiliate link. You can pick it up on Amazon if you do need a personal space heater. I also have the algorithmic serpent. I do have, oh, by the way, I forgot I have the webcam on finally. It's kind of tiny, if you can see that. This is the webcam. That's the, what do you call it? The low and high settings. And then I have the algorithmic serpent, this right there. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses control, so he has to regain control of his mind and then the AI system. You can pick it up. It's very affordable, or especially if you're into psychological thrillers. This is the novelette. My latest greatest is the Recession Business Blueprint. That one you can pick it up as well. It's let me actually put it here so it's show here, the Recession Business Blueprint. And that one is also available on Amazon. and it helps you start a business during a recession. Right now in a recession, this is the best time to actually start a business. If you need mentorship, you can simply contact me. In fact, I do have samples there of how templates you can use to contact people if you online or social media. Okay, so all the books they all have ebook versions. So, and if especially if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get that for free. If you want to know more about me, I have a blog. For every article I write on ojambo.com, you simply you can see here I'm a freelance programmer. I'm also an author. My book page on Amazon, and then the online services for consultation, ojamboservices.com, and if you're ready to learn, ojamboshop.com for the online courses. If you want to contact me, you can use the comment form. The comment form stays up about 10 days after the article goes live. So you can, for example, for this tutorial, you can anything about Blender, obviously Python, and game assets or bonds, armatures. That's all perfectly fine. If there's anything else you want me to do related to this, that I'm happy to help. But the best way to contact me is to go to the contact form or ojambo.com/contact or jamboservices.com/contact and ojamboshop.com/contact. And then if you want to follow me, the channels, Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. And I do live stream to all of them every single day. Okay, now I'm going to implore you to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more this content gets pushed out to more viewers, and those viewers can join this growing community and post tips and tricks or requests, which I'll do a research and then I'll share with everyone. For example, this one was inspired by a request from one of you viewers who wanted to see if I could create game assets. So this is one. This is not just for games, of course. I'm sure you can think of many different things where you can have bonds, because like I said, it gives a more realistic keyframe animations. Okay, especially with the bending. So, like for example, inverse kinematics, things like that. All right, there is also, let me pull the outro and I'll scroll back up and we can finish this. I think that's a pretty good space to start. So the other thing I want to tell you is that if you want to see what's upcoming, I've updated this. You go to ojambo.com, you go to watch menu, live summary, you can see we've just finished this tutorial and this is what's upcoming. So tomorrow, for example, I'll show you how to run AI only on CPU. In fact, not only are we going to run the CPU, I'm going to actually use a laptop just to prove to you that you can run it on the CPU. Okay, and then the day after that, we're going to, not only that, we're going to actually get code, we're going to use the Qwen 2.5 coder, and this laptop is not powerful, by the way, so you guys should be able to follow along. So then whatever code that is, we're not going to review it, we're just going to let it run and not comment on it. And then the day after, we're going to optimize the code, because as I've said before, whatever the AI outputs, it's not perfect, despite everybody telling, oh, I got perfect code, my entire my business runs on this code, I was generated by AI, and blah 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 blah. That they're telling a little white tale. Let's just say that the code is not perfect in any single shape, way, or form. It's a good way maybe to get started, but I'm saying is that it's not. So let's say we'll optimize it. And then the day after that, we're going to optimize WAM 2.1 for the AMD Instinct MI60, and I'll show you how you can actually get it down to run in just a very few minutes. Let's say what's under 300 minutes is what, 5 minutes? So in under 5 minutes, sometimes even under 4 minutes. That's text to video. We can get it there, and this will be good for you guys, especially if maybe you're using Vulkan, you don't have a GPU doesn't work anymore. So tune in for that one, and then after that we're gonna do some. I'll show you guys here Vault Warden. We're going to install it using Podman Desktop, but with a twist. So you know how I was doing everything on the command line? In this case, we're not going to actually touch the command line at all. We're not going to touch the command line at all. Instead, we're going to use Nginx proxy to create our SSL certificates. As I said before, So whether it's Let's Encrypt if you're on if you're in a remote site, or if you're local, it will create the SSL certificates for us. It's obviously, if it's local, it's not going to be a valid certificate, but nevertheless we'll be able to use Vault Warden. This is actually important because, funny enough, after I finished writing this article, Rambo wanted me to install the, what do you call it, the Rambo wallet. So I was having problems with it because on my phone it gave me two options. I could use a Samsung, I think it's called Samsung Pass, but that one I had to log in. Or I could use the Google one. So those two options were not, I didn't want to do that, but obviously they allow you to use third party. But I was like, oh man, I kind of, I don't want to start a Vault Warden just for that, but that's another option. So I'll show you this as well in upcoming. That's an upcoming tutorial, and there's more as well here as well. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to now check the live chat, see if there's any chat requests. I'm going to start with Odyssey. There's nothing here. Rumble, nothing. BitChute, there's nothing today. And YouTube looks like there's nothing. Okay, that's not a problem. I'm going to simply end this tutorial now, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So just for I think I should leave the animation running, just if you're there we go. I think that you guys should see it.